Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the third workshop in our series of Thursday career workshops supported by the Santa Cruz County Workforce Collaborative. My name is David Addison. I'm a librarian at the Santa Cruz Public Library, and I'm happy to welcome our presenter, Desha Staley Ratiar, with the Cabrillo College Career Center. She's a career development director for Cabrillo. Welcome, Desha. She will be talking about career skills and short-term certificates that are available through Cabrillo College. We will be hosting a different topic related to career development every second and third Thursday of each month until April. So next month will be our last in the series. The third Thursday workshops will be in Spanish. For those not able to make it today, the presentation will be recorded and added to our YouTube channel for the library for future viewing. This project was supported in whole or in part by the U.S. Institute of Museum and Library Services under the provisions of the Library Services and Technology Act, administered in California by the State Library. And on that note, Desha, take it away.
Great, thanks, David. Well, welcome everybody. It's great to be here today. I am going to go through, obviously, we know the topic is career skills and short-term certificates. But just want to mention a little bit about my role at the college. So I'm the director of career development, and I'm responsible for creating basically opportunities for our students to develop career skills while they're with us, and then also prepare them for employment when they graduate or complete their certificates. And the other piece is I partner with our local employers in creating those opportunities and developing relationships. So I'm overseeing a department that has internships, it has our career fairs, our job board, our student employment, and partnering with all of them. All right, so I want to go ahead and tell you a little bit about the overview of what I'm going to cover today. I first want to do a little bit of a bigger picture of what we call our career technical education courses and degrees that you can do, just a quick overview of that, some general programs, and then I'm going to get into those short-term skills certificates. That's really the main focus for today, and highlight a few in particular ones that I think are great for folks to look at. And then I'm going to touch on the services that we offer at Cabrillo if you're a student there, and that means even taking one class, you can use those services. And then talk about how you can get started if you're interested in taking these classes and you've never gone to Cabrillo. What do you need to do for that as well? And I'm going to finish up with our career fairs. We have Career Month coming up, and we've got a lot of great events happening. I want to mention too, if you have questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to ask. It's a little hard for me to see in the chat, but maybe Sarah, you can help with that if you see something pop in the chat. Otherwise, you can unmute yourself and ask a question. All right, so career technical education. There's a lot of different degrees that we provide within the career technical side of courses at Cabrillo. And a lot of these are kind of what we call, some are short-term, some can be 2 years long, and some can be even, we have one that was 8 weeks, a certificate that they had in IT courses. So there's a lot of different range of opportunities for people. And so I just want you to, in general, get a sense of what we have to offer. A lot of these courses help prepare students for a really wide range of high wage, high skill, in-demand careers. All right, I'm not going to read through this entire slide here, but again, just want you to get a general sense of what we can help support you with. This is a list of all of the programs we have within CTE, and you can see it's really wide and varied, everything from accounting to computer, construction, dental hygiene, a lot of medical focus, right, or we call allied health, music technology, welding, sports medicine. I mean, there's a whole bunch to choose from. And again, within each of these, you can do a AA or AS degree, or you could do a shorter term certificate that is for credit. Okay, so those are some options there. This is what I really want to focus on today, is what we call our short-term or non-credit classes. There are some really great benefits for these. One of the best, I think, is that these are free, right? So these are free courses for people to take. And with that, you still walk away with amazing skills. So I'm going to just highlight some of them, and then I'm going to get into them a little deeper over the next few slides. The first one I'm going to talk about is Basic Kitchen Skills Certificate. We have a Beginning Technology Skills Certificate, that's more computer related. We have Community Health Worker Certificate. We have a Dental Administrative Assistant Certificate. And then there are actually a variety of what we call Workplace Success Certificates and Career Skills Certificates that I'm going to highlight later on in this presentation as well. We also are going to talk about some of the upcoming ones. They're not quite ready yet. They're going through the approval process, and there's some really great opportunities there as well. All right, so for this first one, again, these are free for you. They're short term. They're only 2 classes each, and they're a great stepping stone if you're thinking about changing your career or trying something different and you don't want to invest a lot of time or money into it. These are great options. So this one is related to culinary or kitchen skills, and there's 2 different courses. The first one would help you with learning about how to use a knife and everything about a professional kitchen, sanitation, and food safety and food handling. And then the second one is more related to your culinary skills. So you start to learn about the equipment, basic cooking skills, and a lot of terminology that's used in a professional kitchen setting. You may have cooking experience, but it's a whole different ballgame when you're in a professional setting. So that's helping you set the stage for that. One other thing I want to mention is there's something called, and it's kind of a mouthful, it's called the ETPL. And this is the Eligibility Training Provider List. So this is done through Cal Jobs. And basically what happens is the state says, okay, these are some high demand jobs that are needed in California. And if you're interested in pursuing these type of certificates or degrees, we can help pay for them, right? So this is separate. I just want to do this as a side note. This is separate than these non-credit skills classes that I talked about above. But I think it's important to know about this opportunity. So if this is an area that you're interested in, they have entry-level baking skills certificate. And again, you can get help getting it paid for. We have what we call WIOA, a program through CalWorks, through the California state. And we have a representative that works with WIOA students on our campus, and they could help you figure this whole thing out. So you don't have to figure it out on your own. You can actually come to campus and we can help you with that piece. That one is for credit and there is a fee associated, but again, you could get a lot of it covered. The other thing I want to talk about is what are some jobs that might be available just by taking these 2 classes, right? So maybe you've never worked in a kitchen and again, you're trying to get in that setting. I was looking on Indeed just today and I saw that there were 3 jobs, and this was a very quick search that I did. But Seaside Company has production kitchen staff positions. Penny Ice Creamery had an ice cream maker, and then the line cook at Vim. And all of those, with what they described in the qualifications, you could qualify for those jobs. So you can see just a short little amount of education or training can really open up some opportunities for you. All right, the next one that I want to talk about is the Beginning Technology Skills Certificate. These are really for folks that have very little or no computer skills at all. So maybe you've been in a profession that was not at all related to computers and you're just not familiar with them. This is a great series of courses for you to take. It's very basic level. So it's, turning on the computer. How do you navigate around the computer using the mouse, the keyboard? How do you print? That's the first class. The second one is going to give you some more information as regards to like how to use a browser, how do you store files, how can you send attachments and create files, and also look at software that's on that particular computer. And these are very hands-on. So you're actually in a computer lab for both of these and practicing. So you're not just in your, at home by yourself doing these. So these 2 would help you if you're starting to think about, okay, I haven't been in an office setting, but I want to explore those options and I want to feel more comfortable with that. Then you can jump into these and try these out. And I want to also spell out what the CABIT stands for. It's Computer Applications and Business Technology. Okay, so just taking these beginning courses can really help you set you up for an office position later on. And within CABIT, there's a whole bunch of other amazing classes that you can take to build those skills. Again, if there's any questions as I'm going through, please feel free to ask me, okay? All right, so Community Health Worker Certificate. This is the next one I want to highlight. Again, 2 classes that you can take. The first one is really letting you explore and learn more about what it is to be in a community health education role, right? And what are the skills that you need to be in that profession. The second one is really going to help you explore some of the issues that people might be, why there might be community health workers, what are issues out there that people are needing support with. Right, so this is different than being a medical assistant or a nurse. This is kind of more on the educational side and supporting people. Many times in the community, you'll see outreach workers doing these kind of jobs. I actually forgot to add these in here at the bottom today, but those are the type of positions that you could look for. And so again, this is an entry point. You can start to explore this as maybe an option for yourself. And then there's additional classes that you can get credit for, and you can continue on with a degree. All right, this next one, I have to tell you, I was just in a meeting with our dental hygiene advisory, and they are this position is in serious demand. Everything in dental is, but this office type position is in really high demand right now. They're very short staffed. And a great way to get your foot in the door is maybe you have a little office experience, but you've never worked in a dental office before. These would be 2 great courses for you to take. The first one is about dental terminology, just understanding there's so many different words used within the dental community and having a comfort level with that. So that's that first course. And then the second one is insurance related. Again, a super important one in any sort of medical setting. And so that will set you up for learning about the software that's used within these offices. Again, 2 great classes to take. And I, again, looked on Indeed and I found actually 4 different places that were hiring for front office dental positions. So there was Western Dental, Landmark, Dientes, and then there was actually a private practice that I didn't list here as well. But I will say this is very high demand right now. And again, a great lead in. So maybe you start this and you end up realizing, I want to be a dental assistant or a dental hygienist or a dentist, right? It can lead to all these different opportunities. All right, so these are some of the certificates that are coming down the pike. So we're really excited about these. There's a process at Cabrillo that it has to go through. So these are all in the works. And I know when we marketed this out, I had talked about the construction one. That one is not quite ready yet, but I wanted to make sure that I highlighted it here a little more than the rest of them. So this, within the basic construction certificate, you will learn about kind of the basic methods and approach, how to safely operate the tools. And again, this is 2 courses we're talking about, right? And then the second course is more of the hands-on and practicing skills. And so you actually do projects throughout that course where you'll be able to incorporate framing, electrical, plumbing, and HVAC systems. So some of the jobs that you could get from there would be basic general repair or construction technician jobs. Additional certificates that are going to be coming, we have accounting for payroll. So maybe you have some background again in an office setting, but you want to look at more the payroll side of it. This would be a great certificate to take. Basic office skills, that would be the next step in those 2 that I told you about a little bit earlier. So that'll give you a little more specific to an office setting rather just to computers in general. And then they have a basic Photoshop. There's also a marketing and e-commerce. This one has really exploded, the need for the e-commerce and understanding how to do that, especially with COVID. We can imagine how many people had to learn and do those things on their own. So this is a great certificate there as well. And then there's a small business certificate that's coming. There are more than this, but I wanted to highlight these particular ones. And I'm hoping that they will be up and running this next year, either fall or spring. the classes I just talked about were really, there's skills in particular areas, right, that we're talking about. We talked about construction and, dental hygiene and those things. These 4 classes are what will help prepare you to get that job or stay in that job. So these are tuition free, they're non-credit. All 4 of these, so each of these classes are only 8 hours long, they're very short, and they're currently all online except one we were going to be doing at Watsonville, and I believe it's the 402 next month. That one is going to be in person. So the rest of these are online and they're self-paced other than that one. And what these are is I'm going to walk through each of them so you can get a sense of what would be helpful for you to take. If you have a resume, or maybe you don't, you haven't updated in a really long time, this is a great class to take, the first one, 402. So this class will actually help you create that resume or that portfolio, depending on what you're pursuing. You work with the instructor and you'll walk away, with a really clean, beautiful resume to apply for that job that you're looking for. Sorry, I need a little water there. The second one is applying for the next great job. This one is going to help you with networking, trying to figure out what tools to use to apply for those positions. It also helps with interview prep. So another great one for you to take. Again, those 2 are related to if you're on the job search, you're looking for some new opportunities for yourself, these would be great for you to do. The bottom 2, the 404 and 405, are really, they tend to be more about when you're in your role or have some work experience. The 404 is related to those career skills that they call soft skills or employability skills. So these are teamwork, collaboration, that kind of stuff. So it's not the hard skills of like, how do you actually type on a computer? It's going to make you think about those other pieces. And as we know, working with others is a huge part of no matter what job you're in. So that's a really great one. And I want to add that a lot of the employers out there, when they talk about things they want the new employees to come in with, it is those soft skills. They say we can train people on these technical skills, but we really want them to be knowledgeable and aware, self-aware about the soft skills. So I encourage you to check that one out. And then the last one is creating career satisfaction. And this one is how to learn about professionalism and take an accountability for yourself in your job, right? How can you enjoy what you do, be responsible for what you do, and add to the team, right? So you're always on a team in these situations. With these, so if you take the top 2, sorry, I have to move your faces out of the way so I can read this. If you take the top 2, you end up with a certificate of completion in employability skills. And the bottom 2, you end up with a workplace success skills certificate. So again, 2 great certificates for you to take. Those look great on your resume. All right, so the next piece I just want to highlight is if you do end up taking classes at Cabrillo, and it could be a 1-unit course, even if it's the non-credit courses, it doesn't matter, anything you're taking, I want you to know about the services that we offer, right? So there's a lot of resources around the community, but these are for our students specifically. So we have an online job board. This is for current students and alumni to use. We offer workshops. So we do, obviously I talked about the classes, but we do 1-hour workshops. So we have a resume workshop, interview skills workshop, a LinkedIn, and prepping for job fair. And then we can meet with students individually on a one-on-one basis to help support all of those efforts, right? So maybe they attended our workshop on resumes, or they went to the interview workshop and now they have an interview, they want to do mock interview with us one-on-one. We're happy to do that. And then we have some career fairs coming up that I'm going to highlight in just a minute, but we offer those kind of throughout the year. And then there's a lot of great resources on our website as well. All right, and then I have some, these are some different resources for people, and I just realized as I'm looking at this, I have the dual enrollment link for the Welcome Center, but the Welcome Center is where you can go to get any of your questions about Cabrillo answered. They are amazing, and the website, again, I can put these things in the chat later. They can answer all kinds of questions with registration. If you happen to have needing some accessibility support services, there is an office for that as well. And so they can talk about how to have accommodations for you while you're taking classes. And then academic counseling, that is who will help you pick out the classes, right? So maybe you don't have any idea what you want to do. They can help you figure that out. Or you figured out, oh, I'm kind of interested in this. They're going to help guide you to what classes you want to take, and maybe even the major that you would like to pursue. So those are all some amazing resources. So now you're sitting here and you're thinking, okay, I'm excited about some course here, and I have never applied to Cabrillo. Maybe that's your scenario. And I know we may have some folks here that have already taken classes. That's an easier step for you, right? You've already gone through what they call as the CCC apply. That would be the first step that you need to register through that. And then once you do that, you end up getting, you check that you want to go to Cabrillo, they will send you your student ID. Once you have that, then you can go ahead and register for classes. So there's two different steps that you need to do if you've never gone to Cabrillo before. I am gonna, again, there's links here in this, and I will put some in the chat at the end. But we gave some different scenarios here on how comfortable people are computer-wise, right? So for those that feel pretty comfortable on their own, you can do step one, right? Are you computer savvy? The second one is you're pretty fluent, but you might want a little support. That's where the Welcome Center can come in, and they have a virtual lobby, and they are seeing people in person now. So we've got that option. And then the last one is if you're just not very comfortable with the whole computer aspect, then there's a form. It's actually one that you would fill out, and then our staff will help you with the registration process. So there's three different options there. And I noticed that I see that Annabelle's here from Cabrillo. So if she has anything else she would want to add, feel free to jump in too. Any questions on this process?
No, the presentation is awesome, Desha. Thank you for the information. I just saw it and I thought I would pop in. This is really cool.
Good to see
this
you.
is really cool stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Annabelle. All right. So we're going to wrap up early day so I can answer a lot of questions. This last piece, I really want to highlight this. We have some amazing events happening that are coming up in April. So we have 5 different career fairs that you could attend. And they're each related. Actually, well, yeah, there's 6 total, but 5 that I'm going to highlight here. So they are related to your degrees or what people are studying. So the first one is related to business, and we've combined it with creative arts and design. So the employers will all be related to jobs in those fields. That one is virtual. It's from 3:30 to 5. And there is a link that I can give you again in the chat. If you want to register, that's a Zoom registration link. We are going to have an in-person career fair. I'm really excited about this, finally getting back to in-person. And that will be April 13th. This is going to be open to all of our different pathways. So all different types of employers could be there. That's from 11 to 1. Again, these are all open to community members. This is not just for our students. So community is welcome to attend. The one on the 14th is another virtual event. And this is what we call our Global and Human Studies, which you're like, well, I wonder who would show up for that. So that could be some of our nonprofits. It could be human services folks, if you're working drug and alcohol use, psychology, education, history. There's a whole bunch of different majors in there that could show up in that one. The next one on the 20th is the STEM CAP. So these are the science and technology folks that are in that one. And then the one on the 28th is a different time frame. It's in the evening. It's a virtual one. And that's all of our health and public service folks. And we have a lot of great people coming to that one as well. So again, these are open to everybody. We have employers registering as we speak, and we will post all of the employers that are coming in about a week and a half. Well, feel free if anyone has questions, follow up, Sarah or David, feel free to reach out, if things come up. All right. Have a great afternoon.
All right, you too.